Hello, my name is Sean Mixon, and my presentation here is on glossophobia, or the fear of public speaking. Now, the irony is not lost on me here. I am doing a presentation as a form of public speaking on the fear that I have of public speaking. But I would also be lying if I said that I wasn't feeling that anxiety while I do this. So, some of the definitions here we have, of course, glossophobia, fear of public speaking or presentation anxiety. Anxiety characterized based around public speaking. It's a form of social anxiety. And then we talk a little bit later in here about social isolation, just trying to define those before we get to them. This was very interesting to me from the start right here, that the glossophobia reportedly affects 75% of the population worldwide. I think back to growing up and being in school, and anytime there was a group project with about 4 people, there's that one person who's always like, yeah, I'll be the speaker. I'll go up there, I'll talk. You guys don't have to worry about it. I'll take care of it. And hopefully, it balances out with the group work. But then you kind of wind up always taking that role. And then other people don't always get the chance to practice it. Kind of a plus and minus there. But the anxiety presents with this intense and persistent fear of having their flaws exposed in these social situations. It really can stack up against people. So the effects of this glossophobia, they are real, they are physical. You have the release of cortisol, which is a stress hormone, raises your heart rate, respiratory rate, you have muscle tremors. It's designed as a fight or flight reflex to get you ready to run or fight, but it doesn't let your mind work the way it should. It stacks upon this feeling of panic and anxiety and thinking that, everybody's looking at you, and then it just snowballs, and then you lose any kind of momentum or positive effects that you might have had going into the presentation, and some people can just shut down completely. So the individual impacts that people deal with, they may avoid public speaking altogether. I know that, I'm 38, I'm probably one of the oldest in this class. I didn't have that option growing up. We always were called upon to read in front of the class, stand up and read this passage. And we hated it growing up. I hated it growing up. I still dislike it. But now more and more people are refusing to get up. They're taking the hit to their grades, or they're refusing to take the class at all. And while I think that's good for their mental health, what I worry about would be that they are not getting trained on how to speak publicly, or how to speak in any way to communicate socially with people around them in a work or school environment. It can also, affect them professionally long term. So some of the ideas of ways to get better at this or to treat it would be developing these personal skills through socialization and practice. I know it can be hard to generate a situation where somebody could speak in front of people without the fear of being judged. You look at your family members, but these are the people in your family that you really want to impress. I think a support system through school or through work would be really good. Some better options of, instead of a class that you're graded on, where you have this anxiety that comes from getting the grade and making sure you have good grades, it could be a training program where it's more of a completion thing and less of a grade thing. That way you don't have that extra stress, and it can be more about building up on what you need to learn rather than testing your ability to speak. And it would be a more safe and safe environment. And then I think building upon that is kind of what we can do as students, is to really push our colleges, our universities, and then eventually where we work, to give these opportunities to people. The opportunities available are almost none. I've never had that kind of opportunity, and I would like to see it going forward. Somewhere where we could practice together in a structured environment with somebody who's good at what we're trying to practice. Peers are great, but peers don't always have that training, that education that is needed to push forward and fix problems. So I think that could be something that we could really try and make better for ourselves and for future generations. As you see, here's my works cited, and thank you for your time.